Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I want to talk about 4 crypto projects that you don't want to miss for 2022. These, of course, are ones I've talked about in the past, but there's just so much going on with these projects. So I definitely want to bring up some of the highlights and talk about why they are projects you don't want to miss for 2022. All right, so let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing good today. I mean, I know today, kind of weird day. Well, first of all, I hope you guys caught me on Yahoo Finance. That was last minute, literally last minute. I had like 15 minutes to prepare. Really didn't prepare. You know, I kind of guessed what they were going to ask me. So I think I did pretty well. If you guys didn't watch that video, make sure you do so. Very short, only about 6 minutes long. But basically, I was asked about why things are stagnant, right? And what to look forward to in 2022. And you guys have heard me talk about those things many times in this channel. But tonight I want to talk about some altcoins, some crypto projects that I believe are still sleepers. People are sleeping on them, and why you do not want to miss them for 2022. So now, take a look at the overall market cap. We know Bitcoin is down a little bit, but overall still trying to hug that 47,000 mark. And you can see that a lot of altcoins have followed, is in the red. But if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll realize, well, not everything is in the red. There are actually a lot that are starting to come back, which is quite interesting. Usually you see this whenever a big recovery is right around the corner. So you could see several L1s and several projects overall doing very well today, including, say, like Vechain, Chainlink, Near Protocol, Cosmos, Fantom, right? Some of the ones I plan on talking about today, but not everything is in the green, just a few particular ones. And what's interesting about this is, obviously, right now there's a lot of fear. You could see that this morning when I covered a fear index, it was around 29. Tonight, it dropped to 23. So now we're in that extreme fear level. And this morning, when I streamed, I gave you guys all the reasons why you should not be panicking, why retail investors seems to have exited the market, and basically it's due to them chasing the gains, or trying to chase the gains, and being impatient. For the rest of us, we are patient. We are here for the long haul. We're here to invest for life-changing wealth, right? So whenever we see fear like this, and whenever we like see a clump like this, that's a pretty good indication that good things are about to come, right? Including some of these projects that are actually fantastic tonight. But with that said, let's get started. First off, I want to talk about Cosmos. One of the projects I feel is the most undervalued in this space right now. When it comes to L1s, I believe Cosmos is definitely undervalued. And I'm going to show you exactly why. But there's a fantastic article on CryptosRUs.com that was posted today about why Cosmos is poised for a gigapump. I have no idea why it's called gigapump, but there are many cases in here that shows why. But here's the reality of Cosmos, why it's so undervalued. Cosmos is an ecosystem of chains. So they have interoperability, but it's within their kind of ecosystem. But that's okay, because Tendermint, which is their consensus mechanism, is widely used, and Cosmos does have a really robust SDK, so many other projects take advantage of it and utilize it and build within the Cosmos ecosystem. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. Some of the biggest chains out there right now is within Cosmos ecosystem. And this includes Binance Smart Chain, the 3rd largest chain out there. This also includes Terra. Okay, so these two are absolutely enormous already. People don't realize Crypto.com's Chronos chain is also using the Cosmos SDK, right? And then there's many others in here, even KuCoin, their chain, And then there's Anchor. Oh, that's part of Terra's ecosystem. But Oasis, Secret, and there's just so many in here. And here's the thing. What's beautiful about Cosmos is IBC, inter-blockchain communication. A mechanism that allows all these chains to talk to each other, to create one big Cosmos, right? Hence the name. And right now, you have some that have turned on IBC. For example, Terra. So that means Terra USD can now be used in Cosmos ecosystem among many DEXs and vice versa. Atom could also be in Terra's ecosystem and their DeFi products, right? And Chronos also opened up, but you have many others that haven't. Binance Smart Chain, for example. When Binance opens up IBC, that's going to be absolutely enormous. So now you're going to have PancakeSwap be able to utilize Terra USD and utilize Chronos's what's their DEX? Shoot, I forgot their DEX. But you get my point, right? There's going to be a lot of cross-chain communication, and it's just really fantastic overall for an entire ecosystem. And you scroll through here, you'll realize that there's 28 IBC enabled chains, but overall there's about 49 chains in total. But coming in 2022, that's where they're going to be more aggressive and push even further. So according to their blog for 2022, there's a couple interesting things. For example, their IBC will get up to what they anticipate 200 different chains. Right now, to keep in mind, it's 28. So they plan on enabling up to 200 chains that's all going to be connected and utilizing Cosmos as a main hub for all inter-blockchain communication. And that is absolutely huge. And not only that, there's other things they want to implement, such as liquid staking, which allows people to take a synthetic version of what they staked, in this case Atom, and utilize it for DeFi purposes. So you're not just locked in earning interest, but you're locked in earning interest, and you're able to use that to use for other products and earn more interest. So liquid staking also is a big thing that could be coming as early as February of 2022. And it's going to be built into the Cosmos SDK, which means that all these other chains like Terra, if they wanted to implement liquid staking, they could utilize it and implement it themselves. Same thing with Binance Smart Chain. So there's just a lot of things going on. And lastly, as for Cosmos, their DEXs, their native DEXs is still growing. For example, Osmosis is one of the biggest ones out there. There's another one, Emeritus, which is still in beta. But this one shows a liquidity locked in about $1 billion, which is actually really low compared to some of the other major chains or L1s out there. But it's growing, and you can see volume is exploding ever since August. You could see it has been going upward tremendously, and same thing with liquidity. So this is also helping drive Atom up. And if you combine everything, I think they are definitely undervalued. They have a great potential in 2022, so you definitely don't want to miss out on Cosmos. All right, now moving to number two. Number two, Vechain. A lot of people know that I've been supporting Vechain for many years, and some people have given up on it because this year, or last year, I should say, not this year, last year, well, they haven't been moving, right? But there are things coming to Vechain. First of all, they continue to partner up with all the big companies out there. The latest partnership, which came a few days ago, is Fortune 500 company Schneider Electric. Okay, so if you look up the partnership for Vechain, in terms of the business world, they have it covered. Okay, and this is not theoretical. It's actually being used. For example, here's someone that's actually in a retail store, picked up a hat, utilized the Vechain app, and scanned it for authenticity, and it shows up. So Vechain is not a theoretical thing. It's already out there being used by some of the biggest companies out there, and it's already legit. But that's not what's interesting, okay? What's interesting is a couple proposals. First of all, this one, there's a proposal where maybe they should be looking at an algorithmic stablecoin kind of like Terra USD, and utilize that for usage, and also introduce coin burning, right? So this is something that's pretty interesting because a lot of major chains now have coin burning, which causes a deflationary effect, right? And having a stable coin, a native stable coin, is very positive. It helps the DeFi ecosystem. And that is one thing that Vechain is still lacking right now, but they are working very, very hard to get that going. Because right now, yes, they have B2B cover, but B2C, in terms of the growing DeFi, explosion, Vechain has not really taken advantage. So having an algorithmic stablecoin would be a huge thing. Implementing stablecoins coin burning will also be a huge thing. And also just getting other stablecoins, getting USDC, USDT, right? Just getting other Terra USD, getting other stablecoins into the ecosystem is also going to be beneficial and something that they're working on. And what else is beneficial is this, DEXs. And now we're starting to see them come out. So the very first one is Vechain. It's been out for a while, but they didn't have pools and farming implemented, and they finally did. So it's still a growing ecosystem, right? So they have this, but recently ZumoSwap also came out, and it is also native DEX, right? That is for Vechain, and also utilizing Sync and Vechain Thor mobile wallet. So now you're seeing an explosion, finally, of consumer-based dApps that is relevant for a lot of us, right? DEXs for trading, pools for staking, and also, NFTs. Like one of my partners, VimWorld, they've been operating on Vechain for quite some time. They're in the gaming NFT ecosystem, right? But Vechain is looking like they want to really push forward in this space for 2022. And if so, I definitely think that's going to help them move forward. So definitely one chain you don't want to miss on in 2022, because I do think there's going to be a lot coming for it. All right, now let's move on to the next two. Let's talk about Fantom. Fantom is a project that I've been talking about for quite some time, very similar to Polygon. And that's because they started as a layer 2, and now I consider them a layer 1. They started as a EVM compatible chain, very fast, no congestion, and Solidity compatible. So that means dApp makers can come aboard. And they have been coming aboard. And they have been coming aboard quite a lot, because if you look at their total value locked, it's actually growing by leaps and bounds right now. They are at number 6, even above the likes of Polygon. As big as Polygon is, Fantom has more value locked in a DeFi system, ecosystem than Polygon. So think about that. So they have been very successful in bringing a lot of DeFi projects aboard and coming up with their own DEXs. For example, QuickSwap has now been renamed to multi-chain, and take a look at this. They now have bridges going to 10 major streams. Okay, not streams, chains. Which means Fantom and the multi-chain now has access to Ethereum, Kronos, Telos, Binance Smart Chain, Boba, Meta, Celo, Aurora, Harmony, right? And they keep adding more. So obviously, this is really good for the ecosystem, helping them grow quite tremendously. And not only that, take a look at this. They tweeted this a couple days ago. They started January 1st with only 5,000 addresses. Now they have 1.5 million. Look at that growth. Almost 30%, 30,000% growth. That's close to their performance. Their performance at the end of the year was around 20,000%. So the unique address growth is following basically the same growth as the price. So there is definitely a lot of things happening on Fantom. And you go through their Twitter, you'll find many other projects, DEXs, and more DEXs and more DEXs that keep coming out. And the more that comes out, the more value is being locked in and the more usage there is. So this is definitely helping Fantom push up in a big way. And pretty soon there'll be a big cap. So Fantom is another project you don't want to miss for 2022. Now, lastly, got to talk about Chainlink. Chainlink is one of the big boys. They were a big cap. I think they're still a big cap, but they got kicked out of top 10. But I don't think people realize how big Chainlink is. Many people ask me about other oracles, you know, Charlie 3, API 3, or whatever else, Ergo, all these other promising oracles out there, band protocol. None of them is anywhere close to the usage and having the network that Chainlink has and provides. Here's year in Chainlink 2021, 7 pillars of momentum. The numbers are staggering, right? 75, billion total value secured in terms of how much value has been transferred across their network. 1.1 billion off-chain data, 2.5 million plus off-chain computation, 1,000 ecosystem projects, 700 plus decentralized delivery of unique data sets. But here's what I'm really interested in. Look at the multi-chain innovation, 12 blockchains, including all the biggest ones, Polygon, Avalanche, Harmony, Ethereum, Huobi, and you throw in Fantom, you throw in some of the L2s like Arbitrum and Immutable X and others. They all utilize Chainlink. Every single major chain and almost every single major DeFi project utilize Chainlink. But that we know. We already know that. At least most of us know that, right? But what makes it really, 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 really interesting for 2022, excuse me, is, where is it? This cross-chain interoperability. Okay, they call it CCIP, Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, which is essentially a bridge, a massive bridge across all of their chains, which means that projects no longer have to develop their bridges or even rely on all these native bridges from these other chains. They could utilize Chainlink. That's it. Using CCIP, they can access data and provide data to 12 different chains, and you know that keeps growing. So CCIP is making Chainlink go beyond than just the Oracle. You can go beyond languages now. You can go beyond smart contracts. It's all going to be interoperable utilizing Chainlink. So that is very, very interesting. And that is coming in 2022. They don't have a set date yet. But even in here, it talks about how Celsius is announcing that they will be moving to or utilizing CCIP when it's done, right? For yield generation activities, think about that. You can offer yield and get into DeFi and all these chains simultaneously, right? So this is why I'm excited about Chainlink. I know they're already the biggest Oracle out there, but the fact that they have this bridge that's going to be coming out really makes them a whole lot more useful. So there you go. That's it for 2022. I shouldn't say that's it. It's not just these 4 chains that are going to be doing good in 2022, but these are ones I've covered many times in the past. But there's a lot of interesting things that's going on and being developed that could definitely push them much higher in 2022. All right. That's pretty much it. Now let's do some Q&A. All right. Man, I am feeling cold. I'm cold. I need to drink some coffee or something. Scrolling up, Phantasma will be the biggest gainer of 2022. I don't know if that's true, but I am looking into Phantasma. I covered them very early, but now I looked at them again and I realized they have a whole lot of things going on. So that is one of the projects I will be covering in the future. A lot of people are talking about Harmony, and people are going nuts about DeFi Kingdoms, another project I want to cover. Most likely, I'm going to be doing research papers because I have a whole team now that's helping me kind of doing some of these research, but those research papers will come out on Patreon first, one of the benefits for patrons. and I will be covering them in the future. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on. I know a lot of people are losing faith, becoming disinterested, right? And hearing the FUD. Whenever we go through a lot of stints like this, right? Whenever Bitcoin doesn't move, it always happens. But if you pay attention, there's just a lot of things going on behind the scenes. There's really a lot of development and a lot of people that are actually utilizing these dApps, right? So one of the things I said in my Yahoo Finance interview today was that, hey, people may stress that, hey, we're not pumping right now. We're not seeing the upside of things. But they forget how fantastic 2021 was and how much the L1s gained, how well Bitcoin gained, right? And there's much, much more coming in 2022. 2022, yes. All right, let's see here. People are asking about Coinme. Yes, Coinme still has all the NFT licensing rights. That's going to be big going forward. I mean, licensing, no one touches upon licensing right now, but when it comes to NFTs, people are just like minting things left and right. But eventually, you're going to have to worry about licensing and rights. So, Coinme definitely has a ton of them. Chase Moore, I appreciate it. Fantom is better than Matic. I'm going to say I disagree with that. But doesn't mean that you don't have to pit them against each other, okay? And you don't only have one over the other. You can hold both. Let's see here. Sell Internet Router by Vet. I have never been a big fan of ICP, but I have been a big fan of Vechain. They have been under-delivering when it comes to DEXs, but it's starting to grow. And the fact that they're trying to grow their DeFi, possibly with their own stablecoin and bring others in, I think that's going to be big for them. Let's see here. Happy New Year. Any thoughts on VPAD? I don't know anything about it, Super Google. I don't know anything about it. I'm late to the chat. What's your opinion on Cosmos price potential? Jason, just rewind and check out what I said about Cosmos. I'm not going to give you a price prediction, but it is one of the 4 coins I talked about tonight. Do you know if you already went over this project? But Paribus, it sounds very familiar. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm not going to cover this, unfortunately, because it's just way too low market cap. So, yeah. VeChain Foundation announced VUSD stable today. Well, I guess it has to do, I don't know if they announced it. It's a proposal. Unless they did announce it. They liked the proposal. So, let's see. Because that was from a few days ago. Oh man, Sonny went on a rant recently. But if they didn't announce it today, that's great. VeChain, I've been saying this about VeChain. They need consumer-based dApps, including DEXs, and adding a stablecoin, a native stablecoin, is very, very positive and a step in the right direction. And it doesn't have to just stop there. Okay, they could bring in USDT, USDC, and bring in Terra USD, and possibly other stable coins. The more there is, the more liquidity, and the better it is for the DEXs. So, yeah. What about Algorand? Is breaking out of a wedge? It could be. I think Algorand has a lot of potential. I do think it does. So, what you're seeing today is a lot of the L1s that have been stagnant, like including Algorand and Chainlink and some of these others. They've been stagnant for a while, and now they're getting their turn, and that's good. And it's usually difficult when things are so fearful, right? Like right now, there's a lot of fear. But it kind of shows you the smart money, the holders, the long-term holders, what are they doing? they're not panicking. They're taking advantage of low prices. Team Collins, what do you think will happen to XRP if the case is settled, dismissed, or Fed wins? Is it worth holding on a little just in case? I mean, you can hold on a little, but it's not going to help you that much. XRP, if they Ripple settled a lawsuit, it'll probably pump. But will it be as, will it be as high as 2018 when it reached like almost $4? Probably not. And you're assuming that the settlement will be coming soon. A lot of XRP fans keep arguing that. I don't think it's going to be as soon as people think. I think if there is a settlement, it'll probably be in Q3 or Q4 of this year. Most likely in Q4. But it may not even settle this year. But even without it, let's say it's settled, it pumps up. Overall, I don't like their premise. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. So I'm not a fan of XRP. Let's see here. Play loss glitches. Appreciate that. Let's see. Metaverses. Crypto for All says metaverses will be big in 2022. Do you think decentralized will hold the top spot? It may. There's still a lot of talk. Brian Kelly, who used to be my favorite analyst on CNBC, has said that he's very bullish on Decentraland, which is very interesting. It used to be just about Bitcoin. But Decentraland and Sandbox, they're fighting it out, and there's other metaverses coming. But right now, all the attention on these two. So I do think they will hold their top spots. And I do think that in 2022, we're going to see more brands get involved and create use cases for why people should get into the metaverse, right? They're going to cause people to kind of get in through use cases. So, yeah, I think metaverses are definitely a good hold. As someone just said, think metaverse is losing steam, time to move to L1s. That's always the thing. Don't try to change one for another. Just if you like it, you know what? Just be diversified. Be diversified. Rachel said you did great on Yahoo Finance. Thank you. I appreciate it. Last second request. Literally, they asked me like 30 minutes before my stream, so I had to prepare my stream. After the stream, I had lunch and I had like 15 minutes to prepare, but it's nothing I couldn't handle. I did look at Trias. Whoever asked, Rich or whoever asked, I actually have a research paper out, but I don't. Off the top of my head, I didn't think anything really stood out. So that's the thing. These days, what I do is when I look at a project, I look at things that really stand out. Could be the leaders, if they built something before, something substantial. Could be some kind of technology that really makes them different. Could be the traction, the momentum they have, right? Some have a lot of momentum. Or it could just be something else. Maybe the partnerships, something that makes them stand out. And right now, there's a lot of projects that sound theoretically good, but they don't really differentiate themselves from the peers or the big boys, right? So it could be, a lot of the good ones already out. Now there's a lot of copycats. It could be some of that. Could be just fatigue overall. People just don't know what to invest anymore. They're not willing to invest in this micro caps and more in the bigger mid to big caps, right? There's a lot of that going on. Curito is also one. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's okay. It's just like a DeFi layer. It's like a layer 2 for DeFi on top of chains, but it's not something I'm very fascinated with. Jared, thank you. Thoughts on UFO? I mean, it's one of those hyped up play turn games that's set to come out, but they have a NFT marketplace announced on Cadena, so I do like them for that. Overall, we just have to see. There's a lot of promising play-to-earn games that's set to come out pretty soon, right? Whether or not they deliver, we just don't know. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. But they do definitely have the name recognition for sure. Any new insights into Shiba? Not really. They also have a play-to-earn game. Right? They hired someone really a famous game designer. I don't know his name, but I know he worked on many projects, so that could help them. And other thing is, I covered wallets yesterday. Robinhood wallet, speculation that Shiba was going to be added at the same time, or at least announced at the same time. That could help Shiba quite a bit. Polkadot is still a work in progress, so we'll have to see when all the chains come up. PlayDAP. Wow, the market cap is much higher than expected. Yeah, VVS Finance is the one. That's the very first DEX on Chronos. We have developed a blockchain-based game that everyone can enjoy. I don't know if that's true. What is the game? What is the game? Non-crypto game users into blockchain through the dApp service platform. Okay. Art games. So there's many. So their game platform. Core team. Is there a LinkedIn profile? I'll tell you, me personally, I think if I was going to create a dApp, I would link it to my LinkedIn. And I would use a real picture. I get some people want to stay anonymous, but you know what? People want verification, proof, right? So, I mean, it looks okay. Investors, partners, some big names, and they're on a lot of the big exchanges. So this, to me, is like something that I need to research. It does look pretty good. And tokenomics isn't bad. And they're not a micro cap. They already have traction. So I'll put this on a maybe list. Pyramid basically giving assets like NFT liquidity to owners without selling it. Do you think this would be a useful tool? No, I don't. Because the market value of NFTs fluctuates, and you don't really know. There's like real no definition of them, because a lot of them are one of ones. They're unique. They're not like crypto projects, right? There are other projects that's similar to that, maybe not for liquidity, but where you can lend or borrow against your NFT. Again, I don't know how that's gonna work, because price can fluctuate really, really quickly. Network. I already answered about Shiba. I have no idea what this project is. Relatively small. Actually, really small. Be the first in network. I guess it's called network. New metaverse. Okay. I'll put this in the maybe pile. Can't tell if it's good or not just from this, but looks like it's a new metaverse or a play-to-earn game. Brian, appreciate that. Dollar asks, CRO, can a 10x this year? Sure. Maybe if the Lakers won the championship, they will. A lot of controversy over the Matt Damon ad. I just don't get it. I mean, it's fine. Leave Matt Damon alone. But I do think they're going to do well. I think they're going to continue their traction. And if Chronos Chain gets bigger and bigger, it's definitely going to help them, right? All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, man, we got some good movers today. but I cover 4 altcoins, 4 crypto projects that I believe will have even better 2022. Cosmos, Vechain, Fantom, and Chainlink. So, if you missed it, make sure you rewind. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.